How do I look? Probably bad. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Core Life Crisis Project. My name is Ryan Ricardella, and I am so glad that you're here. Today's topic is perfection. As someone who is perfect, I'm going to be outlining my top 5 tips for how you can also be perfect. Okay, obviously not. We're going to be talking about the dangers of perfection and how we can navigate them. I think this is a really important topic for us to be covering on this channel because perfectionism can be one of the most crippling things to hold us back for going after the things that we want in life and living a full life. So I want to explore a little bit about what drives this need for us to want to be perfect, and at the end of the video I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge, so stay tuned to the end. I'm a perfectionist to a fault, so as a first step towards overcoming my own perfectionism, I am doing this first thing in the morning. I haven't combed my hair, I haven't washed my face, I haven't looked at in the mirror aside from this little viewfinder just to make sure that I was in focus, and from what I can tell it doesn't look great. I don't even know if I've been focused or not, but that's kind of the point. Do you hate me all of a sudden because of the way I look? Will I drop dead the second this video goes up? Probably not. I hope not. Perfectionism is incredibly dangerous because it's rooted in fear. Fear of rejection, fear of vulnerability, and all these other monsters that live under the bed. And it's this fear that prevents us from going after the things that we want in life. The Core Life Crisis Project is about broadening our horizons and challenging ourselves to have new experiences and meet new people. If we don't do the things that we always wanted to try because we're afraid of looking imperfect, or never introduce ourselves to people we admire because we don't want to look silly, then we're potentially robbing ourselves of really rewarding experiences and rich relationships. We can't let that happen. So I want to take just a second to unpack and debunk thoughts. Oh man. Sorry. It's like first thing in the morning. I'm not gonna cut that out though because it's just, me being imperfect. What I was saying was that I want to take a couple minutes to just think through some ideas for why we feel like we need to be perfect, right? What's driving this urge in us, and try to debunk those things. So one of the things that we think of is that if we're perfect, people will like us more, right? Now, no one's ever explicitly told us that, but we live in a culture where there's a lot of implicit signals. As an example, we've talked about social media on this channel, right? Where we see people behaving and reacting very positively towards people who don't have any faults, at least not that they advertise, and we take that as a signal that we need to look or feel or behave in that way. But in reality, what people really like are people that they can relate to. There's all sorts of psychological research out there that people are drawn towards people with whom they are similar and who they see themselves in. I was recently watching a television program that Miley Cyrus made an appearance on, and we all know that she's a sage. I actually do really like her. But she said something that really resonated with me. She said, "No one sees themselves in perfection because no one is." And that was a huge aha moment for me. It was a simple statement, but it really made a light bulb go off. It's the idea that perfection is isolating. If you were to miraculously achieve perfection, not only would you have nowhere to go but down, you would be completely alone. And that's not a very happy place to be. So it's probably to your benefit for your life to be a shit show every now and then. It'll make people like you more. So the people will like me more theory is off the table. But also sometimes I think we feel that we'll just generally be happier if we were perfect. In my experience, nothing crushes joy like trying to be perfect. And there are a couple reasons for that. First is, as Miley Cyrus says, it's unattainable. So you set yourself up for failure over and over and over again, and that does a number on your self-esteem. But what it also does is it's distracting. It redirects your attention away from the bigger picture, the things that are joyful and productive, and refocuses it on these minute details that don't matter. I'll give you an example. The very first video on the channel that I did, that's actually the second time that I recorded that video. The first time I recorded it, I was going and editing, and I realized that I was a little bit out of focus for about 75% of the video. It wasn't like completely out of focus, like I might be now. Again, I can't see myself in this viewfinder, so if I am out of focus, sorry. I wasn't like egregiously out of focus, but it was noticeable enough, and it just gnawed away at me, right? And I wrestled with myself the whole week to think, do I have to reshoot this? Should I just do it the way it is, just own it? Or should I do it all over again? And the voice in my head was saying, you have to reshoot this, right? Like, no one's gonna take you seriously if you can't do something as simple as getting yourself in focus. You have to start over. Ironically, that video was about being nice to yourself, so live and learn. But it was just this internal battle the whole week, and I ended up reshooting it, which I didn't really feel great about. So that's the point, right? This channel has been challenging, but it's also been something really exciting and joyful for me. And I robbed myself of all of that joy and excitement for a full week because all I could think about was one video and how I was a little bit fuzzy. So now that we've established that perfection is not going to make you happier or make people like us more, let's stop shooting for it. I want to challenge you to do something. Perfection, like the fear that it's rooted in, is a lot less powerful when it's confronted head on. Find little ways to own your imperfections and expose them to the world, just for a day, and see what happens. I bet you'll be really surprised the reaction or lack of reaction that you get. Is there something you've always wanted to do but were afraid of looking silly, like rollerblading? Get your ass in the roller rink. You're gonna look like an idiot and it's gonna be great. Is there someone who you have always wanted to introduce yourself to, but you felt like maybe you weren't ready and you just needed more time? There's never gonna be a good time. Do it today. And I'm gonna do this with you. In addition to this video where I look great, I'm also gonna be posting a blooper reel of outtakes to date. So get ready for it because it's a mess. And I'm also sorry for the swearing. I'm so excited to hear how this goes. Let us know in the comments below how you're gonna be owning your imperfections, and then let us know how it went. We're really excited to know. Plus, if you have any other words of wisdom, we'd love to hear them, so leave those in the comments as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and tell your friends. The more, the merrier. Until next time.